Good morning, YouTube friends. Today I'm going to show you how I make my applesauce. Now, just so you know, this is not original to me. It is something that a friend actually taught me how to do. Now, if you notice today, I'm in Army Mom, Army t-shirt. Well, today is our second son Matthew's birthday, and he is in the U.S. Army. So I'm wearing it in honor of him while I am making my applesauce today. The first thing you do is you just need to cut up your apples. I'll show you how to do it. Okay, this recipe is so simple. You don't have to peel your apples. All you have to do is quarter your apples. Make sure the stem is gone and any of the flower part that is left. You want to make sure you cut that out, because in the last process when we food mill our apples, you don't want that in there. So just check. And I just take a little of that off. Otherwise, all you got to do is simply quarter your apples and then throw them in your pot. My pot is already here. You put your apples in there. What I also do is put like a half a cup of water into my apples, and then I will just let them cook down till they have gotten soft. I'll show you what they look like when they've gotten soft, and that'll take just a few minutes. Now, some of you may be wondering what type of apples we used. Well, while we were on vacation the last couple weeks, we came across an orchard. It's called Yuri's Orchard, and you can see there it's in Adamsville, Ohio. And I picked up some Jonagold and some Cortland. Cortland is a tart apple, Jonagold is a sweeter apple, so I thought I would mix the two and see what I get for my applesauce. When cooking your apples, don't forget to, every once in a while, give them a nice stir. I've got a nice big wooden spoon for this big pot, because you want the top ones, the ones that are in the top, to get down to the bottom so they get soft also. It does take a little bit of arm strength, especially if you've put almost an entire peck of apples in a saucepan. They're starting to get there for me. They're getting softer. Okay, we're just about there. I just wanted to show you what the apples start looking like. And I kind of punch at them, and if there's some that are still hard, I just let it keep cooking. And I can feel some that are a little bit hard, but we're really, really close to being able to use the KitchenAid food mill to make our sauce. Okay, my apples are all done. I just wanted to show you what they look like. You can see there are some chunkies in there, but that's okay. They're still soft when I push on them, and that's exactly where you want it to be. Now, I will warn you, if you like chunky applesauce, this is not the applesauce for you. All right, when my boys were little, my husband gifted me with a KitchenAid mixer, which I absolutely love. But about 5 years ago, he gifted me with a food mill that attaches to my KitchenAid. And this does so many things. I am just so thankful for it. But this is how I do my applesauce. After I have quartered and cooked my apples to where they're soft, they go into the KitchenAid food mill. You'll need a ladle, your cooked apples, and your plunger for your food mill. Now, I've set it up so that the sauce will fall into this bowl, and then the waste will fall into this bowl, and you'll see how that works. You simply take a scoop of your apple, cooked apple, start putting it into your food mill, and then turn your mixer on. And you just run everything through your food mill. Got a little bit of that on the floor, which is not unusual for me when I'm cooking. I have to watch sometimes just to make sure that my bowls are set up right so the waste actually fall into the container and not into the sauce. And I see I've got a little bit of it falling into the sauce, so I'm going to have to adjust this. Maybe if I stick the lip going that way, it'll catch it better. I'm just going to pull out of my sauce what fell in there that I don't want in there and just run it through again. And then when I'm done, I'll show you the sauce. So I'll just keep plugging at it. Now, if you watch enough of these videos of me doing any kind of cooking, you will find out I am a messy cook. I make a mess when I do stuff, but the nice thing about making a mess is you can always clean it up. You can actually let this cool before you do it, but I'm kind of impatient, so I just, as soon as it's cooked, I just put it through the mill. Plastic thing there that keeps anything from getting into that appley goodness. And I forgot to put that back on. What's nice about this is you don't have to peel and core your apples before you make your applesauce. This kind of just does it for you after you've got them nice and soft. Observing these apples, I probably didn't need to actually put the water in the pot because these are pretty juicy apples. Now you will notice with my applesauce, I do not use sugar. We like sugar-free applesauce. There's usually enough sweetness in the apples that I don't worry about that. And if you really want sugar in there, add it when you use it. And that's it. Now I'll just show you some of the results here of what I get. All right, now we're just gonna put our applesauce into our jars. You can either can it from this part, or what we do is we freeze it. We actually put it in pint-sized jars and then we put it in the freezer. We kind of like the texture of it and the flavor of it frozen better than when it's canned. So we choose to freeze it. And this is how we do it. I've cleaned some pint jars. I'm not exactly sure how many it will fill, but I've got about 8 out here. So we're just gonna fill our pint jars. I'm not gonna fill them all the way up because I am freezing and it is pretty liquidy. I'm gonna have to give it some head space to expand a little bit. So I'm just gonna put my applesauce in the jar. This was another trick that a friend of mine taught me, because I didn't know you could freeze applesauce, but she did all the time, and she actually froze it in her pint jars. I'm going to put it in just till it's at the, I'll move this so you can see, just so it's just like right at that first rim of the jar. That way it gives it room to expand. I still use my canning lids. I'm going to clean off the edge. Because this is still warm, when I do cool it down, it very will likely seal, but because I haven't processed it in a water bath or anything, if I just let it set out, it could develop bacteria and mold. That's why I put it in the freezer. So, here we go. Now, this does not have sugar. Brian and I gave a little taste test a little earlier, and it is delicious. Whatever's left after doing the jars will probably be for lunch or supper today. And because I am freezing it, I'm cleaning off that rim, but I'm not being too particular because I know it's going in the freezer. And I'm doing pint jars and not quart jars because a pint jar is actually something that Brian and I can finish up pretty quickly in one meal. That one I got a little full. So I'll just take a tablespoon and pull some of it out. I don't want it to expand out past the jar. And then just finger tighten the lids just like you would if you were actually going to can it. There we go. I almost like to overfill things. I don't know if I even wiped that one down. Oh well, it'll survive. Might be sticky when I open it up when we use it. Now, if you don't have a lot of freezer space, you would want to can this. And like I said before, this is not an applesauce that you will want if you like a chunky applesauce. This is very smooth, not quite baby food smooth, but it's pretty smooth. And that's just the way we like it. There's 6 pints. I might get just 7 pints, which is just fine. I can make more later if I want to. Overfill that. You didn't see that? You didn't see me lick my thumb. Nobody saw that. Okay, that actually filled up 7 pints, which I'm pretty happy for. And we will now put those in the freezer. Now, if you can see, there's a tad bit of a pink hue, and that's because the redness of the skin of the apple actually comes out when you're cooking it. If you don't want that nice little pink color, which I kind of like, you would just peel your apples. But I don't want to go through that effort, and I don't mind the pink color at all. Okay, you have a great day. Bye-bye.
For joining us today, and remember, if you like this video, hit a thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button, and if you'd like to know when a new video comes out, hit that little bell button. Again, thanks for joining us here at Simple Homesteading.